Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfszeit channel! Today with a very special topic, always special. So it's all about the changes in the war and sieging system. And please leave your ideas, your feedback about the sieging and the territorial control system in the comments, would be so nice. And if you have the time, please participate in the voting, as well as the changes in the territorial control system. So the first change is guilds now need to be at war for at least 24 hours before being able to declare a siege. And Star Wars said this is for many reasons. However, one primary purpose is so that at the minimum, both the directly attacking and the defending guilds will not be able to report the other side for murder during the siege window due to being at war. And naturally, this does not affect third parties. On top of that, you cannot end the war if any of the parties have a siege incoming or ongoing between them, which is a great addition, because ending a war while sieging is, yeah. Then Star Wars decided that the wars will have a maximum duration of 14 days before they are ending on their own. Some like the new idea that wars will end on their own, but even if you dislike the idea, you can just renew the war every 40 days, so no problem there. So now more to the controversial part. So declaring a war on a guild will now incur an ongoing hourly upkeep cost as long as the war is active, which scales in cost depending on the average standing of the guild. So this basically means that guilds with high standing will be more expensive to declare war on. That means that wars with guilds that have negative standing is a lot cheaper than fighting against guilds that having a good reputation. The differences here are not so significant at first, but many are happy that the upkeep costs of war are relatively cheap. That means conflict and PvP, which is good. And the good thing is you can see which member has what average standing. This is in the place where it showed the murder counts before. This is a neat little feature. And now the stuff you all waited for. Starvolt added the no build zones around keep supply lines to prevent them from being unintentionally walled in. Yes! And siege tents and siege machines may still be placed and built inside these zones, but at least it can't be walled in, which is so awesome. And any structures that are inside the new no-build zones will be moved outside of them, and they offer refunds of the structures and the plans to the owners, depending of course on the new factors and how complicated this is for a GM to make, but generally they can move stuff. And they added no build zones, which cover the areas directly adjusted to the keep walls. Like you can see here in the footage, there's a house directly in front of the keep, and some used these mechanics to get over the walls without needing to siege the walls. So this will now be fixed. There will be no build zones, but you can still build siege tents there and siege machineries there, but not structures like these. On top of that, the supply lines and the supply storehouses can no longer be placed during the active siege. And this is awesome. And it's good that this is fixed because this was a real problem. So before it was like you declaring war on a guild, and the target guild needs at least 2 murderers in their guild that you were able to declare war on them. This will now be gone. There are no other restrictions beside the upkeep costs to declare war on a guild. Some are saying this is great because it creates more conflict. And some are saying, oh, the caliber guilds will now be ran over. But to just say the truth here, on the other hand, it's a PvP game, and if you don't want to participate in PvP in a PvP game, I don't know. I mean, some people choose to be prey. I don't know. But often, if you are just a PvE guild and just friendly and stuff, no one wants to siege you. The problem often begins when people start talking bullshit, and then Mortal wants to give you consequences, but they can't because you don't have 2 murderers in your guild. So no consequences for talking bullshit. But when you're talking bullshit in Mortal, it's often like this. You talk shit and then prepare your asshole. It is how it is. Live with the consequences of your actions. This is Mortal Online 2. Like the big new advertisement slogan. Live with your consequences. Live with the bullshit you spread. I don't mean this seriously. There are a lot of small PvE guilds that are friendly, cool and chill, and this is no problem. Many guilds like these friendly guilds, which is great. They bring some flavor to the game, some RP, some other playstyles. But problems just arise when you can do stuff without real consequences. And the that you needed 2 murderers before was a safe place for them, but this is now gone, which is great because every action in Mortal has a real consequence, and this is what a true PvP hardcore sandbox game is about. I don't know, this is at least what is in my opinion. Your opinion can of course differ, so please leave it in the comments. I don't know, this is just my perception of that every action you take in this game has a consequence. But now to the territory control changes. The first change When you revive yourself at a TC priest, outpost priest or house priest, it will now start a 10-minute timer. So if the player dies within that time and tries to revive himself, he will get a cooldown. And the cooldown will increase every time. So this could solve the priest camping at some sieges, at some locations. Because often a lot of people were reviving themselves naked, running around the battlefield, regearing themselves, and then entering the battle again like every 30 seconds, and this was not good. So this change sounds awesome. We will see how it plays out. Another big factor is that the keep owners now have enhanced region buffs. So finally the keeps having a real benefit, but only when the region are connected to the keep and in an unbroken chain connected to the keep. Only then you're getting enhanced region buffs from the region. And Star Wars decided to finally put an end to stuff like this. So they increased the placement distance to 100 meters for the same TC structures. So it checks if the structure is already placed in that area and then you can't place it again. So finally walling off stuff to make it unsiegeable is now gone, which is great. So all in all, these are solid changes. The question is, do you like these changes or do you dislike these changes? So it would be nice if you could participate in the voting or comment your concerns or what you like about the new system below on this video. Would be so nice. So thank you all for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe, would be so awesome. Share this video with your guildmates and friends. So thank you all for watching, and thanks to all of the supporters who keep the channel going. Carmel, Lucario, Mr. Minerva, Ronus, Partonax, Cologne Bulldog, and all the others of course. So never forget to make party hard, sieging and war and territorial control hard. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.